Okay, guys, we are back for the next game. This is going to be the one and only Freedom playing against the Grandmaster player from Team PSIStorm. It is MygraiN, who's going to off-race to make it a little bit fair. He's gonna play Terran instead of his usual. I believe he's generally a Protoss player. And for this game, I am joined by another one of the awesome players from the league, gonna co-cast for me, Sir Maligan. How's it going, Sir Maligan?
Hey, what's up, guys? Hi, Damon. Yeah, this is gonna be an interesting game, man. It's gonna be the Season 1 champ versus our new MygraiN Grandmaster. Yeah.
Yeah, I mean, I know he's jammed with Protoss, and so he's gonna play Terran, but I feel like he's probably still gonna be pretty good.
Yeah, I'm sure he's gonna be still good. I mean, have you seen him play Terran? Or not yet? You haven't seen him play Terran, right? This will be our first view of him playing Terran.
Yes.
Mm-hmm.
So hopefully that will be good.
Alright, it's still loading up. There you go. It took forever to load that game.
Alright, well, and yeah, so like I said, I'm kind of excited to see this. I do think this is in MygraiN's favor, but we shall see.
Yeah, I mean, it could actually be interesting for. I mean, Freedom is really good against. Terran, but then again, he did mention that he's having a hard time with Terran, with the Bio Terran. So we'll see.
All right, our players are ready. We are firing this game on up. So let's just get right on in to the action here. So what do you think? What's your prediction?
I guess I'll probably go with MygraiN favorably because I mean, Freedom just mentioned to me that he's having a really hard time in ladder with Bio Terran. So we'll see if if Terran goes mech, I guess Freedom will probably be the one to win this because he's so used to that build.
Alright, well, let's introduce our players here real quick. In the top left corner, our friend, our champion, it is Freedom playing as the Orange Zerg. And his opponent, in the top right, our Grandmaster with Protoss. Let's see if he can make a good showing here off racing this Terran. It is MygraiN.
Yeah. Joe, you're fired. What the heck? What the heck is that talk, man? Psych bars. I'll take a win.
So yes, MygraiN, of course, was the very first player that we picked up for our Grandmaster team for PSIStorm Gaming, which Freedom, of course, is one of the owners of.
PSIStorm. I mean, this is an exciting thing having MygraiN on the team, man. I mean, it's gonna be great having a Grandmaster toss, somebody to look at. Look at when he plays. We'll learn a lot from this guy, I'm sure.
Absolutely, and I'm curious to see even with him off racing, which he should be doing all season long. I'll be curious to see what interesting tricks we can all learn from him.
Yeah.
Opening really fast gas, so I would assume that he's probably going to go for pretty quick Hellions. Probably throw a reactor on his barracks before too long, and then switch that over onto a factory after the, of course, completely standard Reaper opening that everyone on the planet does.
That's right.
Freedom is going pull before hatch. This is pretty much just what Freedom does all of the time, out of an overabundance of concern for losing to early cheese. Man, even extractor tricking at the 3.5 minute mark.
Yeah. Well, virtually they're almost the same on APM right now.
Yeah, yeah. Well, I mean, off racing, so I'm not surprised if
Yep,
MygraiN is a tad bit slower than usual. Always fun trying to learn the hotkeys for a different race.
that's right.
And he is taking his own expansion, which of course Freedom does get a good look at. Reaper out here is gonna just pick off like all of the lings that Freedom was trying to hunt down this SCV with, and doesn't even get the SCV for his trouble.
Wow. Yeah, look at that. SCV survives.
And of course, only one queen out at the moment to help push away the double Reapers. So this could be a tad annoying, though a few more queens are, of course,
Oh, he's gonna lose
under
the
construction.
SCV. Oh, look at that. Freedom just passed through him.
This is actually great from Freedom. He snipes the SCV that was building that command center, which will delay it pretty significantly, and MygraiN doesn't really have any units to deal with this. He's not even able to build any units, so Freedom has to... Look at this, he's pulling the SCVs and sending some Reapers.
Yep, 2 arms.
This is actually a lot of damage from Freedom.
Yeah, that's a good delay there.
Yeah, though, of course, MygraiN is trying to recover from the attack there by macroing super hard and going for an incredibly fast third. And there go the Hellion production that I expected to see.
You're right. Look at that. He went. He's gonna go full Hellion on this one. Harassed the Zerg.
Yeah, I mean, it's just such a powerful opener. I mean, the Hellions obviously are pretty good against Lings if they can avoid being overly surrounded, and if they get in, just, roasting drones, and they just provide such good general map control and vision.
Yeah, that's right. And there goes the Roach Warren for Freedom.
Yep, this is, I mean, pretty much what I would expect to see based on the information Freedom has so far. Roaches are reasonable units against pretty much anything that the Terran can have at this state of the game. Reaper, of course, getting in, gets a good scout look around.
Oh, look at that.
Oh, he could have gotten that out.
Yeah, he could have gotten away, actually. But I guess he just left it there and said, it's gonna die.
Yep, still 4 Hellions out on the map, 2 more. Actually, no, he canceled oh no, there they go. 2 more Hellions sitting at the base. A bunch of bunkers going down. I think MygraiN's a little bit concerned about a counterattack.
Yeah. Did he see... Let me see if I have vision with that Roach one. I guess he doesn't have it.
Though he certainly sees it with that scan.
He sees it now.
Freedom is pushing out across the map with his roaches. There's not a ton here to defend from MygraiN. I mean, 2 bunkers, but not a lot of units in those bunkers.
Wow, look at that.
Wow.
5 bunkers.
He is very concerned, considering that
Well, the good thing about bunkers is you can salvage them later.
Yeah, I'm just surprised since he has not seen the Baneling nest, that he went so bunker heavy.
Yeah, I think he didn't see the third. That's why he reacted like that. Probably thinking Roach bust in with... Oh, there you go. With the... Did he... I guess he saw the Baneling.
No, I checked his vision. He didn't see it.
Oh, he didn't see it. Oh, interesting. That's a good read.
Yeah, it's that GM level decision making and understanding.
Yep. I guess when he saw that late third, or he didn't even see the third, so that's why he anticipated a bust from Freedom.
And Freedom's playing this so smartly with all those units pressuring at the front. He has this third coming up. He's droning really heavily. He's not building like any units. He's just gonna kind of get an idea of what is going on from his opponent and posture, and if he sees an opportunity, he can push in. But otherwise, he's just gonna macro like a boss.
Yep.
Mines starting to be built by MygraiN.
Oh, look at that. Zerg's bugging out.
I mean, he realized he wasn't going to get
Yeah.
anything done.
He sees all those bunkers and oh, you know what? Screw it. I'm going back.
Double Evo chambers about to finish for Freedom, which is good. Start getting those upgrades churning out. Combat shield actually just
Salvaging
now.
Look at that, salvaging all those 3 bunkers. This is a good thing about Terran. Wish we could sell our cannons as toss, man. Just drop like 6 cannons and then just sell it later on.
Wow, and a lot of lings being produced there from Freedom.
Yeah, I think he's gonna go heavy on Banes on this.
That scan, unfortunately for him, misses his entire army.
There goes the 3rd for MygraiN.
Yep, and of course with that ling, well positioned by Freedom, he knows all about it.
It looks like MygraiN is not upgrading his bio. He has 2 eBays.
Yeah, I mean, combat shield is just now finishing up, which is crazy. Though Freedom is a bit supply blocked. And behind in workers, which is kind of surprising considering that he's been pretty left alone.
Yeah, that's right. Normally, he should be very saturated by now.
Yeah, you know, this is something that Freedom and I have talked a lot about. It's kind of one of his weaknesses, is he tends to stop droning in the 50 to 60 worker range, and it really hurts him.
Yeah. Ah, look at that. Oh, he didn't detonate the...
Oh! And get some okay connections. Oh, those Widow Mine hits, though. Freedom's just gonna try to see what little extra damage he can get done. He killed a few workers.
Yeah.
Killed some army, but I don't think he got what he was hoping for out of that.
He got 6 SCV so far.
Yeah, and I mean, he lost a lot of Banelings in exchange for 6 SCVs. I don't feel like that was worth it.
Yep. I guess that fight went to MygraiN side.
Yeah. Spire Tech coming out from Freedom now. I'm not sure that I would go Spire against Biomine.
Yeah, those mines are gonna be very good against those mutas.
And of course, I mean, Freedom's falling pretty far behind here in supply.
Yeah, even the drone counts is just 54 compared to 66 SCVs. Wow.
Yeah, I mean, this is
surprisingly low for Freedom.
Yeah, this is not great for Freedom. He is going to take a 4th and a 5th base, probably for that extra larva because he was floating, and because he was floating quite a bit of money. Have to see if he gets those bases saturated though. He keeps morphing all of his workers into buildings, so he's actually keeps going down in worker count.
Yeah, that's right. 51 drones to 68 SCVs. Okay.
Infestation pits coming down. I do think that we'll probably see swarm hosts come out of Freedom here. I like the attempt at this attack. It gets an okay surround on some of those units, but oh, the workers! Those were some nice Baneling connections. A lot of workers died. Unfortunately for Freedom, however, there's a big counterattack. Great Baneling connections, though.
Yep, good Bane hits.
And just like that, Freedom is right back in this game, pretty much evened up in supply and worker count.
Yep.
And ahead in upgrades.
26 workers killed.
Yeah, so those Baneling connections were just absolutely fantastic on those workers. A single Mutalisk being produced. Freedom's got a lot of money. I'm surprised it's so few. Unfortunately, a bunch of mines in the middle of the map are going to get some free kills here in a second. Yep. There go a bunch of circlings.
Baines doesn't even know what hit them.
We'll be interested to see what Freedom does to follow this up here. He has started droning a little bit more again, finally coming up to 58. And getting those critical overseers so he can start sniping these mines. In the meantime, MygraiN is loading up a medevac for a drop. It should be spotted by this burrowed Zergling that's well placed by Freedom. The real question is just, did he notice it?
Yeah. That's gonna do a lot of damage on that mineral line.
Yeah, I mean, here comes the drop.
He didn't bring any mines, though.
Yeah, though, I mean, Freedom still hasn't actually responded. I mean, they're just these are completely free kills here for MygraiN.
Finally, some drone kills for MygraiN.
The Lings come up, but Freedom move commanded them.
Look at that! What a single muta.
The whole medevac gets away. Drops again.
Oh, it's gonna kill it, medevac.
Yeah, one medevac down. Of course, while this is going on, a pretty big push coming out. Freedom does have a couple of burrowed banelings in the middle of the map that we're hoping to get some juicy connections there, but unfortunately he does not. Though his bottom base is in danger.
Yeah.
Army's coming down.
Big army coming up.
He should be able to hold this.
Bane hits are gonna be the key. Oh.
And he needs to get those swarm hosts burrowed. They don't do very well just standing up. He cleaned that up pretty well. I'd say that went reasonably in his favor.
Yep.
He's overextending, though. There we go, smartly pulling back. More mutas being built.
Oh my god. I just dropped from the game. Stupid.
It's alright. You can just enjoy my lovely soothing voice as I tell you what's going on.
I'll be watching your stream anyway.
Some swarm hosts. Starting to take the center of the map. Freedom has the Locust rallying towards MygraiN's bases. Pretty reasonable decision, actually. This just kind of forces at least some defense to always stay around. Otherwise, he can start taking some damage. Another drop is going on in Freedom's main. Some mutas are coming by to clean it up. Unfortunately, not enough mutas, and Freedom's going to lose basically all of them. He is actually, I think, going to lose all of them. MygraiN moving out to take a couple of additional bases. Interestingly enough, he's long-distance mining one base while actually landing a command center at a completely opposite base. Drop finally cleaned up in Freedom's main. Freedom really needs to take some more bases here. He's 59 workers to 72, and 146 army supply to 146 supply, I should say, to 116. MygraiN is really kind of taking control of the game at this point. Freedom just doesn't have the economy to build the units he needs. He doesn't have the larva. Four base Zerg at 22 minutes into the game against a 5 base Terran is not a good place to be.
Yeah, it looks like the drops really made good damage.
Freedom has a lot of banelings just sitting in his main, not really doing a whole lot. Continuing to morph additional banelings. Interesting choice. And MygraiN is starting to move towards the center of the map. Trying to establish good map presence. Small force of mutas starting to fly around the outskirts of the map, just looking for any little bits of damage they can get done. If he spots this base, which he will, he should actually bring those mutas back. They could get quite a bit done to this undefended worker line. In fact, Freedom is going to do exactly that. And he's not going to get a huge number of kills, but, every little bit helps. Interestingly enough, yeah, the drops really have done a great job for MygraiN, netting him 27 worker kills to go along with the 36 of Freedom. Big push coming down towards Freedom's 4th base. A lot of bio with a few siege tanks for support. Freedom's trying to clean this up, try to get those key baneling hits, but the siege tanks are doing a great job of killing the banelings before they can hit that bio, and this base is going to go down. And Freedom loses his last new base. In the meantime, a small squad is also pushing in towards his natural, some unescorted bio, but Freedom just doesn't have anything to respond to this. Zerglings are starting to pop out. With some Muta support, we'll clean this up. And Freedom's trying to take a new 4th base, but this is pretty much immediately spotted, and there's going to be a drop that flies over it. May just try to get a cancel. Gets intercepted, actually, by some Mutalisks. And MygraiN seems to really just be trying to pull Freedom apart a little bit here.
Yeah.
And Freedom at this point is just going super all in on the Mutalisks. I think he's going to try to get his own harassment damage done, but there's a reasonable Doom drop heading into his main right now that has not been spotted, and I don't think that Freedom has anything to answer this. He's starting to bring, of course, all of his forces back, but he's going to lose quite a few more workers, and I think he's going to lose his hive before it can finish. Oh man, Freedom just barely manages to keep that alive. Does get some medevacs at least, so it's not a terrible trade for him. Not quite what he was hoping for either. MygraiN, of course, gets at the same time a quick cancel on one of Freedom's bases that he was trying to retake. And may, in fact, manage to pick off another one. Meanwhile, Freedom's flock of mutas trying to just find whatever they can. They actually do pass right by a very exposed base, but he does not engage it for some reason. Gonna guess that he just missed it. Freedom is in big trouble, though. I mean, he's down to 37 workers. And I mean, with that few, he just doesn't have the economy that he needs to stay in this game. I mean, MygraiN is mining from so many bases right now.
Yeah. Look at this, the way he spends his money is amazing.
Yeah, I mean, he's floating an absurd amount of gas, but he just doesn't have anything to spend it on.
He's so effective in creating units.
Yep, a bit of a skirmish here. Goes okay for Freedom. His banelings do manage to get at least a little bit of damage done. Not quite what he's hoping for, but that was at least a reasonable trade for him. And he's starting to come back into this. Supply's starting to even up. MygraiN now only has about a 30 supply lead. And, I mean, 20 of that is in workers. In the meantime, Freedom does move up with his mutas to the space. Unfortunately, he flies directly into a whole bunch of missile turrets and loses basically all of his mutalisks. Does not get a whole lot of damage done. He might be able to snipe this orbital command because SCVs are not repairing it. There they come. This may turn into a few kills for him, but Bioforces are moving out and should push this away. Unfortunately, they push him away into more turrets. And this is rough. Another base of Freedom's is going to get sniped down at the south side he was trying to take. And we're back to about a 50 supply lead for MygraiN. Again, you know, a lot of that's still in workers, and Freedom just cannot catch a break with those. MygraiN, in the meantime, is taking yet another base, which will be his 6th. Freedom, unfortunately, is at risk of losing his 4th. He just lost his main to yet another drop. And he's about to lose his Spire. And Freedom's like going all in on drones at this point, but it's reasonably likely that he's going to lose his last properly mining base if he's not really careful. He manages to save it with just 362 hit points. MygraiN is just being relentless here. I think pretty soon this game is, unfortunately for Freedom, going to be over.
Yep.
He's going to have a very tough time pulling himself back into it.
Supply lead is it's probably what, 60? 50?
Yeah, supply lead is 50 at the moment. 68 workers to 54. Freedom's done an excellent job rebuilding his workers. The problem is just, you know, he doesn't have a main. His natural is about to be completely empty. His third is about to be completely empty, so he's only really mining off of one base and trying to retake another base.
Yep. It's amazing how MygraiN does his harass in the main. He puts it on, he constantly sends something to all his to more of the bases of Freedom.
Yeah, but
So
Freedom
he's always split all the time, then just make damage on those. It's really good.
Yeah, Freedom's trying really hard to counterattack wherever he can. There's a reasonable chance that he will pick off this one, the 6th base of MygraiN. Unfortunately, there's a large bio army knocking on his front door. And, I mean, all he has are a couple of swarm hosts. He's trying to get Lings out. But I just don't know that it's going to be enough. I'm actually surprised that he isn't bringing his mutas home for the little bit of extra defense, at least to take out these siege tanks. And his natural is likely to fall momentarily. He just lost his Baneling Nest. There goes his natural. There's also a drop at his 4th base, which killed all of his workers and is about to kill the base itself. And I mean, there goes. Freedom calls the GG, and MygraiN takes a pretty impressive victory with his off race.
Yeah, I'm impressed with his Terran, man. Imagine if he played Toss.
You know,
it's that drops and all this stuff.
It's that
I like his harass.
Yeah, man, it's that macro and that decision making, and just he can just do so much stuff.
Yep. And I like the way he spends his money, man. Look at that. Just you don't even see him hovering at 1,000 minerals. You'll never see it. I never saw him hovering 1,000 minerals. Always 300, 200.
Yeah, and also just some really fantastic play. And I mean, Freedom, of course, played well himself. Just unfortunately couldn't quite keep up with our GM player.
Yep, all those harass was amazing. Good game.
Alright, guys, well, we're going to take another brief intermission while we try to get set up for another game, and I should be rejoined by Freedom. But, of course, a big thank you, Sir Maligan, for hopping on and joining me.
Not a problem. Anytime.
Alright, we'll be back shortly.
Alright.